this summer, witness yet another Spider-Man origin story,
voice again.
just so Sony can retain the rights to the character.
Better have some funny jokes.
Peter Parker was just an attractive, intelligent, likable, athletic, well-dressed teenage loser. But when he easily walks into a high-security lab, one radioactive spider bite will give Peter the ability to twitch like a crackhead, break everything. Get every father figure in his life murdered. Act like a complete jerk every chance he gets.
Man, this was
80% of your job, huh? Who does
main reason I didn't like this character.
Please go to sleep.
And stutter worse than Shia LaBeouf in Transformers.
You want to, I don't know, just, I don't know, I was, yeah. No, don't, okay, no, okay, I gotta tell you this one thing, I wish I could just...
Embark on a romantic journey where the hottest girl in school falls for this creepy stalker.
He's got you on his computer.
Proving that love always prevails, even when you have gaping wounds that require immediate medical attention. Immerse yourself in the epic battle between a hero who refuses to fight with his mask on and a villain with the most cliche origin story imaginable, who is conveniently connected to the most important people in Peter's life.
Kurt Connors. That's the name of the guy in the picture with your dad.
Dr. Curtis Connors was also my daughter's mentor. Is that who you're talking about?
That's the one.
Experience the retold story of an uncle who strives to find yet another way of saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
That if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
As well as all of these other moments that you've already seen before. Like this. A lot of this. And more of this.
Call an ambulance!
Swing along with the smartest teenager in Manhattan, who uses the MySpace of search engines and does a terrible job of hiding his secret identity. Seriously, nobody thought that was odd? Starring Babyhead, Charlie Sheen's dad, Forrest Gump's mom, Detective O'Murphy McIrish, the Geico Gecko, Octomom, and Lindsay Lohan, if she had better parents.
All right.
The not really that amazing Spider-Man.
At all.
At least Kirsten Dunst wasn't in it.
So, you have a Spider-Man reboot for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's gonna be called The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yes. So what's the movie about? Well, it's like a Spider-Man origin movie with some extra origin thrown in there. What do you mean? We're gonna have this whole thing about Peter's parents disappearing and him trying to figure out what happened to them. Oh, is that something that people are interested in seeing? I hope so, because we're gonna lean into it pretty hard. So what happens with that storyline? Well, Peter finds some secret papers in his dad's old briefcase, and that leads him to going to this high-tech company Oscorp because he wants to figure out what the heck happened. Is it gonna be hard for him to get into a high-tech company like Oscorp? No, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Exactly.
Oh, really? Yeah, there just so happens to be an internship thing going on, so he steals someone's identity and sneaks in. He steals someone's identity? Yeah, and then the guy whose identity he stole is gonna get dragged out by security. It's gonna be hilarious. Doesn't that make Peter Parker seem like kind of a jerk?
Yes.
No, it's gonna be charming, because at the beginning of the movie, Peter's gonna help out a kid that's being bullied. Oh, so we're just gonna assume that everything he does past that point is gonna be likable? Yeah, we're gonna have him be a good guy in that one scene and then coast along on that, hoping that people empathize with him. Ooh, let's hope that works. Yeah, fingers crossed. So what happens at Oscorp? Well, he's gonna keep being a jerk by breaking into a secure room in the lab. Very charming. And that room's full of spiders, so one of them's gonna bite him. And that leads to him getting his powers. Exactly. So then he wakes up in the subway and discovers his new abilities. Oh, awesome. I love scenes when heroes discover they have powers. So how does it happen? Well, he's gonna undress a woman without her consent. You know, just rip her shirt off. What? Yeah, and then some guys are gonna jump in to defend the woman, because, you know, that's sexual assault, and then Peter's gonna beat up up her defenders. Wait, are you doing like a dark reboot of Spider-Man where he's the villain or something? No, he's a good guy. Remember he saved that one kid from the bully? Oh, right. He's likable. So, and what happens with his investigation into his parents' disappearance? Oh, well, we're pretty much gonna abandon that storyline. What do you mean? How's it resolved? We just don't bring it up again. I don't know. We're just ditching the character's whole initial motivation. Yeah, we're gonna shift the focus to Peter trying to figure out who killed Uncle Ben. Oh, Uncle Ben is in this movie. Yeah, of course. So we're gonna have that whole with great power comes great responsibility line. Yeah, well, I didn't want to use that same line, so I found a way for him to convey the same message in a way that's just as smooth. Oh, how does he say it? He's like, your father lived by a philosophy, a principle, really. He believed that if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility. That is just as catchy as with great power comes great responsibility. If not more catchy, it just rolls off the tongue. Agreed. Anyway, so later a guy robs a store, and as he's running away, he drops his gun in front of Uncle Ben. Oh, so Uncle Ben gets out of the way? No, he tries to grab the gun. Was the guy gonna shoot someone nearby or something? No, he was just running away. So why would Uncle Ben do something dangerous like that? Because he needs to die. Well, okay then. So then Peter's gonna rampage around the city trying to find his killer. Oh, does he end up finding him? I don't know. That's another storyline that we're gonna abandon. Oh, we are? Yeah, I really enjoy starting story threads, but I find it's tough to end them, so sometimes I just don't do it. Fair enough. Writing's hard. I also have this antagonist, Rajit, who's just gonna disappear from the movie completely at a certain point, never to be heard of again. Wow. So what else should I know about the movie? Well, you know how Spider-Man's secret identity is super important? Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, not to this version of Spider-Man. Oh, what do you mean? Well, he spends most of his time as Spider-Man without his mask on. He also does a bunch of superhuman stuff at school. He straight up tells Gwen Stacy that he's Spider-Man. He also uses a camera as Spider-Man that says property of Peter Parker right on the back. Wow, does anyone not know that he's Spider-Man? Probably not, to be honest. Huh, yeah, he's the worst. So tell me more about the bad guy. Oh, well, his name is Dr. Connors, and he's missing an arm, so he wants to find a way to grow it back. Okay. But then he ends up turning himself into a giant evil lizard. Oh, sounds pretty scary. So what's his evil plan? He wants to turn the whole city into lizards. What? Why? Because he really likes lizards. He thinks everyone should be lizards. Well, okay, so everybody would permanently be lizard people? Well, I guess it wouldn't be permanent because he has to keep injecting himself to turn into one. So his plan is to turn everyone into lizards for a little bit? Yeah, pretty evil, right? I guess that's not very nice. Yeah, it's super sneaky, mildly an inconvenience. Yeah, sounds like it. And he's even gonna turn this group of cops into lizards. Oh wow, what kind of stuff are they gonna do while they're lizards? I don't know, we're gonna show them turning into lizards and then only come back to them when they turn back into humans. Keeping it mysterious, that's kinda cool. Yeah, and then the lizard is gonna kill Gwen Stacy's father. Oh no. And his dying wish to Peter is that he stay away from his daughter to keep her safe. Wow. So Peter's like, I'm sorry, Gwen, I can't be with you anymore. Well, I mean, obviously he's gonna respect the wish of a dying man. Of course. For about 5 minutes, then he's like, screw that guy. Oh, immediately betraying someo's dying wish is tight. Yes, sir, it is. So what do you think? Hey man, as long as we keep the rights to Spider-Man out of Disney's hands, I'm happy. Great.
So again, this is a franchise that I cared about the least when it comes to all the Spider-Man movies. I'll watch Spider-Man 3 before I watch these two, personally. And I thought Mark Webb directing this movie would be a little bit different because I believe he did 500 Days of Summer. And so that was a great movie. I really enjoyed that movie. So I knew that the relationship aspect between Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy would be pretty good because he did that well in 500 Days of Summer, you know. So this one, I knew that would be good. But the action was a little bit weird. CGI was odd. The way Spider-Man swung was weird. Like, they used a real guy. They didn't do a whole lot of CGI. They did some CGI, but they did a lot of just practical stuff, which that's fine. But it just felt weird. It was stiff. I just wasn't into it. Plus, the way that they were bringing in story elements and then just doing away with them quickly was weird. Like Irfan Khan, rest in peace. He shows up and then he's just gone, just out of nowhere. After that, I believe it was after the bridge scene. He's just gone, never comes back. And then the whole thing with his uncle, and then the whole thing with trying to find his parents, that comes back in the sequel, but it really just focused on Peter Parker trying to get with Gwen Stacy, and then, trying to save the city, obviously, from the lizard, fighting him. It just kind of took a bunch of different turns. Nothing ever really felt finished, except for, I guess, the lizard storyline, which I really wish we got the lizard storyline in the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. You have Kirk Connors in there for at least the first 2 movies, and then nothing happens from there. Like, I was hoping the lizard was going to show up at some point. So they have it here, which is cool because it's our first time seeing it in live action for that character, but it didn't resonate with me. I didn't really care for it. Plus his plan was just really kind of stupid. So yeah, this is not one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, which is funny. I'll watch any superhero movie, but I'll watch anything over this, really. It's been some years since I've seen it, so maybe I'm due for a rewatch to see if my feelings have changed. So Peter Parker and as Spider-Man especially was just a douche. Like, he was just a jerk to everybody. I hated that. Even to the cops. He's like, telling the cops he's doing their jobs. It's like, come on, bro, like, chill. Enjoy these powers, help people out. I felt like he was a little more to character as far as what I'm used to in the sequel, but again, the sequel was just, it was pretty trash. Those are my thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know which one you think is best, the Honest Trailer or the Pitch Meeting. Again, the Honest Trailer had the voice that I don't care for, but some of the jokes were really good. Pitch Meeting, Ryan George kills it as always. I think the way he talked about how a lot of different story elements were just thrown away after being started, that's really what this movie was about. Also, if you want to continue to laugh and smile, check out some of our most popular uploads on the channel. I think you'll enjoy those. You can also check out the other Spider-Man trilogy versus reaction I did with Honest Trailers and Pitch Meeting. That's all 3 of the movies over there. So check that out. If you've seen all that, as always, I'll see you guys in the comments for this one.